Hello, hola, bonjour, how do? How are we all? Hope everyone is well. And after what we can only be described as I don't think there's any superlative to announce what happened yesterday. I was personally expecting a hard-fought draw, two sides that came down from the Premier League, battling it out, and it just turned into an absolute whitewash. To be honest, plain and simple, a whitewash. The third kick got a run out. Third kick got a run out, and we absolutely turned Luton over. But we'll talk about that soon. First of all, back again. Guess who's back? Tell your friends. It's Ashy. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, thanks for the last minute warning to come on to that. Running around like an headless chicken, just as I was saying offline. Been decorating today, so my house is an absolute bomb site. So yeah, but I'm here.
Mate.
I'm here.
Yes, easy.
The things I do for you, mate. The things I do for you.
Trust me, there's things that you do for me that even the missus doesn't do for me. So,
well, I aim to please.
Obviously, let's talk yesterday. First and foremost, if you can, people, please drop a like on this video, share it out if you can, and subscribe. Join us if you want to. It really does help us. But putting a like on the video really helps the YouTube algorithm, helps them think, oh, people really like this video. They want to watch more of this person's content, and it gets us out there. So please do drop us a like. We are live on Facebook and on YouTube. For some reason, X is being a bugger, but we're going to sort that out once, we get that blue tick. Once we get the blue tick, that's what we need. We need the blue tick. But let's see what happens. We're being reviewed. I'm under review. Thank God it's by Twitter and not HMP. But yes, Scotty Parker's rain got off to a good start last night, didn't it? I mean, what a performance down at Luton. I mean, the jacket were enough. Obviously, £1,300 jacket that he had on, bomber jacket. Yeah. But other than that, Scotty P and his boys turned up at Kenilworth Road and absolutely turned over Luton Town.
I was gobsmacked. It weren't a 10 out of 10 performance, but it was near as damn it. That first half, I would say, it probably was a 10 out of 10 performance. I was saying last night as I was watching it, I actually enjoying the football, bearing in mind the championship winning football under company. I enjoyed that more for the simple fact is it weren't tippy-tappy football. It was direct, route one way it needed to be. I mean, two of the goals were just long ball through balls, weren't they? They just pinged over the top. Two players ran onto him, Brownie and Audibert. But then the passing was tippy-tappy at times. It just looked so good. I mean, there were elements where Luton player, we had players around him. We just took away that completely the options. The only thing that probably took it away from being a 10 out of 10 performance, we switched off for their goal. But
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. I think
I had goosebumps all the way through it.
The thing I think before the game, it was one of them. I get it all the time. I'm like excited and pumped up.
Yeah.
Then about that first 10 minutes before kickoff, I'm a little bit like, oh shit. Nerves are kicking in a bit. But we took the lead early. Again, I mean, the starting 11 consisted of one newbie pretty much. And that was the new Brazilian wonder, Lucas Pires. Obviously came in at left back. Probably our only out-and-out left-back option at the moment since Charlie Taylor left. But what a performance by him. Very strong for his first game in Claret and Blue, or white, Claret and Blue, however you want to put it. And what a wonder ball to pick out Brownie for the first goal as well.
Yeah. I mean, Brownie's finish, again, I suppose in last season in Premier League, Man, he took it first time, though, didn't he? Pretty much. Well, as soon as he got through, he finished it like a striker. Like, well, I'll say he hit it first time. Like,
It's always nice to see Kaminsky on his arse as well, isn't it?
Especially if he were giving it a big one.
Yeah, I'd giving it all that.
Yeah.
What a knobhead.
I was well and truly. I mean, as Scotty P has said, it's going to be a long season and there's going to be ups and downs. There'll be many bumps in the road, this, that, other. Like, but I'm holding my hands up. We were discussing this last time. I felt a bit very underwhelmed with his appointment. But the more you've listened to him, and last night just signed and sealed it, like, yeah, no, we have made an absolute savvy appointment. So, yeah, onwards.
That's all we can hope for. That's all we can hope for.
Yeah.
Max says there, hope you're well. And Lee and everyone in the chat said, wasn't a bad debut, though, did well on the whole. And Martin, hope you're well, mate. Said, evening down, what a game we had last night. It were a brilliant, brilliant game. And when you look back, essentially, we had 2 assists from a right back and a left back, and 2 goals by defenders.
Yeah.
So our defense, I go back to what you said originally. Scott Parker wasn't everybody's first choice. He's come in. He's probably been dealt a bit of a shit hand. He's got to try and pick up a squad that's been. I mean, I've just finished watching the Mission to Burnley 2 today, and I just thought, what an arsehole company it was with some of the players. Like, his man management probably wasn't just quite there, but that's something he will learn, and he could get found out with at Bayern Munich. But Scotty Parker's going to have to deal with. He's going to have a segment of players that are like, I'm going to give my all for this club. I'm a segment of I'm a Premier League player. I don't want to be playing in the Championship. He's got to manage people and egos, and you could see a togetherness, almost like the season we had when Vinny came in initially, and we had, fans and players felt connected. And I dare say it, even Weghorst got it when he came on. When I'm sure we'll talk about him later on. He was the one egging, Scott Parker, get yourself in with the fans. Do that.
One thing I was about to say with the old Weghorst, the company had a huge pull, didn't it? Dash couldn't get Weghorst playing. Company has a huge pull, but Weghorst weren't interested. Well, he obviously wants to go to the World Cup, lad, but you'd have thought being back, he would have wanted to come back and play back in the Premier League last season with us. Yeah, first game of the season, he's coming on as a substitute on new mind. So Scott Parker might just be brilliant with the way he talks to people, getting them on board. I mean, he is Scott Parker himself. He was a phenomenal player when in his day.
Oh yeah, West Ham fans preached. West Ham fans have preached about him. I've spoken to a few West Ham fans recently, and they said his time at the club, they loved him. He was strong in the middle of the park. I think he has ties with Charlton and a few others.
Charlton and Chelsea as well, Chelsea.
Yeah, he did. He did. But he's done well. He's always been a hard grafter in the middle of the park. And he's also got something to prove as a manager, hasn't he? He had a bad stint at Club Brugge. He's hoping to get it right as well. I'm just looking back at actually some of his clubs that he played for. Started at Charlton, went on loan to Norwich, then made a move to Chelsea, played for Newcastle, West Ham, Spurs, and Fulham. It's not bad. Made 18 appearances for England as well. So, we've got somebody with a bit of a pedigree. Like I said, though, it wasn't everybody's first choice, but that mixed style of play that he showed, it had essences of Dash, essences of VK, and it was like a happily merged, collective. And I think that it worked to a plum, obviously, yesterday.
I I would think about this. Well, I've been thinking about that game all day today. That's all I've been thinking about. I'll bring on Cardiff, and this is something I missed all last season. It was like, God's sake, other than the first 10 games, it was an absolutely terrible season. The first 10 games, there was always hope because we looked good and we always thought it's going to come well. But the tactics that we played last night, and like I say, I'm not naive to think, yes, we're going to go undefeated and then we'll stay in Premier League and then we'll be pushing. I'm not that naive, but I think we'd have done better with those tactics last season in the Premier League than what we did, because defensively, he just got it right. We're under pressure. Clear that ball as far as you can, and get your positions, get back. And we did it time and time again. And like I said, the only mistake we made was when there was just a little lack of concentration, and they got in and put one in on us. But that didn't stop us though. We just picked ourselves up and went at it and scored from a corner, which was nice.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I looked at some of the stats for Luton last season, and I think they were second in most headed goals, I believe.
Yeah.
Arsenal were top. Yeah. So it was really interesting because we've been very, let's call it what it is, piss poor in terms of our zonal marking, and when we've usually been quite resolute, strong. And I thought we had a little bit of that last night. Like you said, lapse of concentration for their goal. But again, just, the work from Connor Roberts to pick out the run of Odobert, you don't even see that run. Nobody even sees that run of Odobert. It's the fact that Roberts had the chance. And again, probably a lot of people thought after his loan to Leeds, is he really going to get another chance to play in a Burnley shirt? A new manager's come in, and obviously he does have that fresh opportunity. I think he's made a claim to obviously take his position at right back again, especially if Coutinho's now pushing forward. I thought him and Connor Roberts had quite a good understanding of, well, if you go forward, I'll come back, and vice versa. But again, the ball from Roberts for Odebert's goal was brilliant. And then we go on to obviously O'Shea's goal from the set piece. I think it was it our first or second corner, but we'd not had many because we started the second half pretty poorly, didn't we?
Yeah,
I think we started. If anything, I thought, here we go, we're reverting back to type. We've got the lead, and now we're going to sit on it, because Luton came out of the blocks very fast at the start of that second half.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm really apprehensive about playing Luton, but it might have been the best time, because I don't know, they weren't expecting us to come at them like that.
No.
And they've got one or two injuries. Obviously, Luton. I do still feel Luton are going to be up there end of season, but I think they might be a bit of a slow burner, but I think they'll be up there. So probably playing them yesterday was probably the right time, especially the way we hit them. Straight out from the get go. I mean, what were Brownhill's goal with that 5 minutes in?
Yeah, it weren't long. I think 5-6 minutes on the clock when Brownhill bagged. It were really interesting because to go 1-0 up so early, I think it can help. It can also hinder you, because then you've still got lots of football to play, and you know that the opposition are going to come out of the blocks and try and break you down, because there's time on their hands to get back into it. I thought when they did get back into it, which, I think they worked their goal pretty well. And it is down to a lapse of concentration a little bit on our part. But again, I wasn't entirely that nervous at 2-1. There was a little bit of it, but I thought, no, if Luton up it a notch now that they've got one back, maybe, but they didn't. They sort of got one, and it was like they were sitting back, like they were winning 1-0. And I think Rob Edwards will obviously be very unhappy with the way that they played. I know they've got injuries, which I think I heard today that Tom Lockyer, who was obviously the player who had a cardiac arrest on the pitch and things, he's back training individually for Luton. So that's good news for them.
Yeah.
But I think we showed character individually as well, not just as a team and a collective, but we showed individual brilliance. I thought Foster was a little bit quiet. I thought his game was a bit alienated on his own. But in the end, he got himself involved. But let's talk about that fourth goal. I really wanted Lyle Foster to take it on his own.
Yeah.
I wanted him to go all the way. He'd won the ball back on the edge of our 18-yard box, sprints the length of the field without having to make a pass. And I thought, you know what, take it. Have your Son moment that he had against us, and go do it. But unfortunately, I say unfortunately, it's not unfortunately. Why am I saying that? He looked out to his right, picked out Vitinho. And it's weird because Vitinho looks up like he's looking to pick a man out at the back post, but he perfectly wraps his foot round it. I think it just clips the foot of Kaminski. Post, crossbar, in, they all count. And again, a brilliant team pressing move.
Well, because I like after the first half at half time, my next door neighbour who comes down to watch the games, like, Foster's been unsurprisingly quiet, and it's like, so a good football, but it's like we need to feed him this ball, but second half it must have well, if they're not going to feed me the ball, I'm going to tell you how well he went back and defended. But don't he look an absolute animal now? It's like he's put on weight, as in muscle weight. But when he got that drive, it's like they shit themselves. No one wanted to put a foot in, and it just plowed through him. He didn't have any chance obviously, and Vitinho scored from it, but he's gonna be up there for top goal scorer. I'm confident with that.
Yeah, I think he'll come good. Any standouts for you yesterday? Obviously, Trafford was back in goal. We all was wondering who was going to be between the sticks. What did you make of Trafford in his performance last night?
There was a few squeaky moments, I have to say, where he's a bit like a vampire. He doesn't like crosses. Well, I don't think it was even a cross where it came up. It basically lobbed over him. It crossbar, and he caught it on the way back out. But I thought those tactics suit him a lot better because he's a great shot stopper. He's not such one, I think, because he's so young. Can command the area like Muric, Heaton, Pope ever did, but that will come with time. But his goal kicks, I mean, again, it's not so easy. But the one point where he took a goal kick and it was pretty much going into the Luton's box. It's so. I do think tactically, he's going to be a good player for us, but is he going to stay? He's another question mark.
That's the big question, isn't it?
It's all gone quiet on that front.
Oh, it's all gone quiet over there.
Yeah, but when I saw his name on the team sheet as number one starting goalkeeper, I weren't disappointed. They're like, no, fair enough, because we know he is a good goalkeeper. Premier League were a step too far for him, especially only playing like League One football prior to that, and then playing the under-21 internationals. Like a 19 to 20. He's 20, 21 now.
Yeah, he's still around that age, isn't he? Still around that caliber.
But yeah, he did all right, and I think the more games you have like that, the more confidence he'll get, and this is probably where he'll start commanding the areas because he's got that confidence. Someone's not stay switched off he'll bollock him. Why? That's your job. You should be on him, like, but he needs that confidence stuff where he's like, yeah, he's keeping clean sheets, and it's like become so protective. Like, I'm not losing me clean sheet. What do you call it? Where you go on a run of clean sheets.
Yeah.
It's been a long
Yeah, I
day.
know what you mean.
So,
I know what you mean.
Yeah. But my biggest standout yesterday, and it was funny. Game, the commentator said, "So Andy, who's your man at match?" And the commentator didn't respond like. So my missus turned around and said, you're not replying to that, Andy. And I'm like, well, it's got to be O'Shea. And no sooner as I said it, he said, oh yes, Darryl O'Shea, because I thought he was an absolutely outstanding. Defensively, I mean, that free header, that rather. I mean, look at size of Adebayo. What is it? Adebayo.
Yeah. He's an handful, isn't he?
He's a big lad as well. Like, I mean, he's the one who cost us the 3 points last year because of what he did to obviously Trafford. But yeah. He no way to that ball when O'Shea went there. But it's like I'm so wanting O'Shea to stay. I mean, the Twitter's just been raft today with like, Brentford. They've said, well, they're kind of agreeing the deal now. Like, and out of all the players that have been linked away, he's the one I would want to keep the most, and that's even including Sanderberg, who play for us. But I think O'Shea, we are quite lucky with the amount of. Some of them are a bit more injury prone, and I don't know how long Bayer's going to be out for, and Ekdal. But O'Shea will make a hell of a difference for us if we keep him all season.
I think we need to lower the centre backs, though, don't we? I think we've got 8 centre backs on our books, so we need to obviously cut the numbers back in terms of bringing some revenue in. I mean, that's one thing we knew upon getting relegated, that we are going to lose some talent. But O'Shea, I thought, would have been one of those that stays. We shall see. That obviously there's still time in the window for lots of things to happen. But I don't want to. I wouldn't want to see him go there. Brentford have already got 2 of our former centre backs in Collins and Ben Mee. So.
Yeah.
Why do they want another one from us? They're just being greedy arseholes. What did you make of Brownhill yesterday? Because apart from his goal, obviously a lot of questions were asked when he was given the captaincy previously, and it didn't seem to work for him.
You cut off there, pal.
Oh, am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, happy days. Yeah, I was just saying in terms of like Brownhill, his captaincy, when he had it previously, he was. It felt like he had too much to do. He couldn't play his own game because he had to make sure that everybody else was doing their job, and I thought it alienated him a little bit. But I don't know, maybe a couple of seasons it's done him a world of good, and to give him that confidence and captaincy, I don't know. Did we give him the captaincy so he'll stay? After links with West Ham early doors, I don't know. But what did you make of him as our captain? Fantastic yesterday.
Yeah, I thought he did a great job. I mean, it's probably our longest serving player now, next to Gudmundsson, and I'm trying to think because he's not one of Dash's originals. He was a Dash signing, but
yeah.
But it does make absolute sense. But there is a lot of big leaders in that squad. When we signed O'Shea, he was Birmingham's captain at the time.
So, you're going to piss a few West Brom fans off with that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I knew he's from that down neck at once. Sorry, guys. It's been a long day, like I say. But he was West Brom's skipper. So,
yeah.
I mean, you could clearly see he leads from the back. Like, I think Roberts good shout for, you know, he plays his heart on her sleeve, doesn't mind getting stuck in, tells people as it is. You've seen from the documentary, Cullen, he'd be a great shot for a captain. So we have got some good players, like, and we obviously inundated with like prospects of the youth that we've got. So, but yeah, I think it's the right call to give Brownhill the captaincy, because there is people you could have forward for it, like, but I think Brownhill does make a good shout. And to me, a captain should always really be either centre mid or centre back, unless they are something special of a player, like, because like they see more of the game, don't they? But,
Yeah, like, I think when you see a centre back or a keeper, I mean, we've had Tom Eaton obviously lead us before. I think we've had Frank Sinclair as he was a captain for a while. Wayne Thomas had a few stints as captain. Ben Mee was captain for a long period of time.
Yeah.
You know, okay, we have had midfield. Jack Corks had the captaincy, and I think was meant to be our captain last season, but didn't really get the game time. So
yeah,
it's interesting, but I think based off yesterday, I mean, final thoughts on that Luton game. Do you think we've got the credentials to keep it up all season?
Well, I think Scott Parker after that has put a lot of pressure on himself, really, because on Saturday is turn up. Not obviously, I'm not expecting us to score 4 goals every single game, but I'm expecting 85 to 90% of the games we play to play like that. I'm not expecting to win every game, and there will be games that are but if we turn up on Saturday and it's like flat, making mistakes left, right, and centre, you'd be like, "What the hell's gone on there?" Like, but I'm good. I'll hold my hands up, and we said it on the last time we were on. I was underwhelmed by the signing of Scotty P, but now I'm all aboard. I'm all aboard. I'm all over it. As much as that jacket he was wearing.
I know. It wouldn't surprise me if it's in club shop at some point.
Kick off the season.
Yeah, fantastic
not
opening.
For that price.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Obviously, back at the Turf, the last championship season, it was an absolute fortress for us. Season last, I think
just thinking last season.
Yeah, I think we only won 1 against Sheffield United, and I think we had a couple of draws, maybe. But because I remember the draw against Fulham, win against Sheffield United
as well, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
Brun
Larson
at dying minutes. But yeah, that's again, we need to make that home form better. Last season, the atmosphere was flatter than a witch's tit. It were awful. And as you can see from the documentary, Alan Pace really, really, really wants a drum. And we really, really, really drummed it into his head that that's a wrong idea. So we need to get that passion back in the stadium. It does come from the pitch. We all know that if positive performances, crowd follows. However, we can still do our bit. We do need to make Turf Moor a fortress. And I'm looking at the stats ahead of this one. We are unbeaten at home against Cardiff in our last 16 league games. We've won 8, drawn 8, and it's a run that stretches back to December 1990. So it's not a bad stat. Not a bad stat at all. And if we followed our 4-1 win at Luton up with a win, it'll be the first time since the 2006-2007 season that we'll have won our two league games back to back when we beat QPR 2-0 and Leicester 1-0. But Cardiff have also lost each of their last 3 games in the Championship, whilst they've suffered 4 defeats in a row in February 2023 under different managers. But I think they lost their opening game of the season as well, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, they found themselves 20th in the table. I think they lost 2-0. So they're currently playing now. It's half-time, actually, in the EFL Cup first round. They are still drawing 0-0 with Bristol Rovers at the Cardiff City Stadium. But again, are you expecting a good positive showing for Burnley? We need to, really, don't we? We need to follow that up with positivity.
I think the fans are going to be to it. So there will be definitely the first 10-15 minutes, there'll be a great atmosphere. And I'm hoping that feeds onto the pitch. But the players themselves, I mean, you saw it in the documentary. The players felt it. The atmosphere at home was shit. You know, when Lyle Foster was having a go, and he even said, "We're playing for ourselves now. The fans have given up. We've got to play for that bit of pride and ourselves back, and they do want to put a smile back on our face. You could see it last night. As soon as we got the victory, they're running over at the end doing that 3-pump thing, which Scotty Parker needs to learn."
Yeah, definitely.
But you can really see it, because I sit in the Jimmy Mack upper, so I'll be real looking forward to, fingers crossed, second half, because I hate it when they shoot towards the stand in the second half. It's always got to be towards the Jimmy Mack. So I'm hoping second half we're back 1 or 2 more goals, and they'll be running to the corner. So for us all to be celebrating with them, like so. And I'm hoping Lyle's going to be banging one of them, or even an hat-trick.
I was going to say, obviously, the documentary does showcase Lyle Foster in such a positive light, especially after his mental health issues. And I just hope to God that he is going to come good like everybody else is thinking, because he's got everything in his locker to be that player. And it's just a case of, from the way Scott Parker plays, he might not play, but a lot of fans from Bournemouth and Fulham have said Parker's a madman. He could have a winning team and a winning formula, but then change it the week after. So, we could have Huntonji playing up front next week at the weekend. We could have Vegos starting. It could be Rodriguez in defence. From what we're going on here, what we're basing it on what people are saying, is that he really does like to mix it up. Don't get me wrong, that's good, because you can also get a sort of tale of certain players that aren't getting game time. It gives them a few minutes in the legs. But when you've got a winning formula, you've got to obviously try and stick to your guns and use the players that are obviously working for you. I want Lyle Foster to come good just as much as every Burnley fan. I think you could see he's got leadership qualities from that documentary as well. He goes into the change room. He's speaking from the heart. I just want him to be a big success this season, because he's got all the qualities of being a top Premier League striker one day.
I go back to that pre-season friendly. It's the only pre-season friendly we got to actually watch, and it was on this god-awful stream. But
and it was in Spanish.
The goal he scored. I mean, it was just a touch of class. But again, I don't think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think he had any other chances in that game. Or if he did, it was like half chances. But that one, he was just like a touch turn back at net, and it was just like brilliant. Last night, he didn't. The ball weren't fed for him to because he was bagging goals in the Premier League. I mean, he has got that talent there, and I think the first season that we got him, unfairly, a lot of Burnley fans got on his back, said, "Wow, we paid 15 million for him, give the lad a chance, and then Premier League, obviously he was scoring goals, and then it came about that he had issues with his mental health. Like, so he's back, and he's back on the right path, and he was playing with a smile on his face. I mean, you could tell when Vitinho put that ball in the back at net, it was like he scored himself. You know, the way he celebrated, he weren't just celebrating his teammates scoring, he was also celebrating like he scored the goal. But I think that's his passion, and that the documentary shows that he's a passionate guy, and he's definitely going to play for the shirt this season, definitely.
100%.
Curiosity though, just going back to the documentary, was it a smart move that company just all of a sudden announced that Lyle Foster's got mental health issues to the group of lads without asking him? I thought, ooh, it's a bit of a...
It was, but then it didn't really give any context as to whether he said, you know, can you tell the lads, you know, I'm going to be away for a while. Can you just let them know? So then they can not just treat him differently, but just sort of give them a heads up that he's not really in a good place. So it was a strange one. I sort of thought that, but I think the best thing that it did. Oh no! I think the best thing that they did was come out and announce it, because I think it did a lot for mental health, mind charities, football as general. I think it was Craig Bellamy who said it in the documentary that it's usually like 1 in 4 people suffer from mental health problems, and when you've got a squad of 36 people, it's mad to think that there's only one of them with bad mental health. So, you know, massive respect to him for that. You know, he's done very well to get himself into a positive place, and like I say, hopefully those demons evade him, and we get to see the best Lyle Foster, happy, playing with a smile on his face and scoring goals for fun.
Yeah, I do think he'll know. He'll start feeling the love big time from us Burnley fans, like. So I think that obviously, but it's a strange one, mental health. Though you could be best player in the world, bagging goals for fun, earning millions, and still be unhappy. It's you know, absolute minefield, isn't it? Like, so, you know, so I mean, he's obviously got the support from the club who, you know, keep him on, you know, on the right path to wellness. So, but yeah, like, let's just hope he, you know, I mean, take football to the equation, really. Just make sure he's all right first, and then let him do his day job second.
Yeah, 100%. I think people need to remember that footballers, we love them for, you know, and love them for what they do. They bring smiles to our faces. They can pee us off one week and be the best thing since sliced bread the week after. They've got a very tough job, but we've got to also remember that they are human beings. And Mac, to be honest, I'm not going to give any much spoilers away. Obviously, I'm just saying that we do.
Sorry, pal.
It does speak a lot about Lyle Foster and his mental health challenges, which is, you know, it evident, and it's good that the club did that. But it's explosive, mate. Trust me, you want to watch it. I'm glad I watched it. Did I enjoy putting myself through it again? Probably not. But seeing the work that goes in, how close we were to some signings and things like that, it was very in depth, and you see all that. So I recommend watching it. But yes,
I think one thing we'll say, especially with the Mission to Burnley 1, if you didn't love Alan, you absolutely adore him after this one. He's just such. I mean, he had slight ties to Burnley because his dad was a missionary and came to Burnley. Really bizarre. It all happened. Like,
yeah,
it beats the club. He really, really does. It's just everything about him. It's so much passion for the. You know, under his leadership, I'm not worried about the club. And even though we have got all this debt and everything flying around it doesn't concern me because I think we're in safe hands with him.
Yeah, I think
So
when he
Oh,
shows
sorry,
his
go on.
vulnerability. He shows his vulnerability, doesn't he, towards
Yeah.
the back end of the program, and you do see a broken man who's clearly upset of losing a manager that he put all his faith into, and
Yeah.
it is an eye opener. I mean, massive respect to Matt Williams as well, who deals with the transfers. He's got a very tough job to do. Obviously, he's on about going through stuff with his father, and how he sort of had to deal with deadline day. But I agree with what he said pretty much at the start of the second series when he said, "The squad's full of kids. We need men. We need experience."
Yeah.
But yeah, every fan in the stadium could have said that as well. So at least we know that there is people in the club that still understand it from our fan perspective, that understand and know what we know. But they can only do what the manager's telling them to. And like I say, Mac, won't say any much further on the documentary, but yeah, have a check on that certain device, mate. I would.
With the watch.
So, definitely. And I'm in it. Get in. So you'll spot this little ginger face without his hat. So if you see a little round bald head with glasses smiling going, then you'll see it. But yeah, Cardiff this weekend. Obviously, didn't start the season well. 2-0 loss to Sunderland. They're obviously going to come out farting to try and put that right. They're playing now, which could mean that they've got a bit of motion still in their legs, shall we say, to the momentum to take into this weekend. How do you see the game going? Because obviously, off the back of what we've had, there's going to be positivity from us. It's a tough game. It's a tough one to call. It's still very early doors, isn't it?
Yeah, I go back to the last championship season where we absolutely bulldozed Huddersfield, did everything but score more than one goal, and then we end up playing Luton and we drew 1-1 with them. So I think everyone was expecting that season after how we played against Huddersfield, we're going to this next game, and because it was kind of strange, wasn't it, that championship season where we're playing good football, but we just didn't hit form. So I think I'm expecting myself, and I'm trying not to get too much like, oh yeah, we'll win every single game, because every game's different and every game starts at 0-0. But confidence has got to be high. Like I say, the fans are going to be buzzing. There's going to be a huge buzz before the game around Turf Moor in all the bars, all the pubs, fan zone. And yeah, I'm expecting us to hit the ground running. I'm going to put cut line. I'm going to say 2-0 minimum.
Minimum, I like that.
Yeah, that's minimum. Yeah, minimum. 2-0 minimum. But you just don't know. We could end up getting dick 1-0. It's football for you, lad. But I can't see it. I think our confidence is going to be extremely high. We want to make Turf Moor a fortress again. The atmosphere was dismal last season, as were the performances on the pitch. Everyone knows that, and I think it's, let's make it right. Let's put it right.
Yeah,
interesting one for you. What would be the starting lineup? And will he change it?
I think so. I think he'll potentially rest Koleosho after going off with cramp.
Yeah.
You don't want to rush a player that's been out for essentially a full season to rush him back into it. I know he played a couple of games towards the back end of last season, but don't rush it. He's still very, very young. We seem to think he's going to be. He was brilliant. He was running left, right, and centre, getting into those positions, but just don't burn him out. So it wouldn't surprise me. It's phenomenal, phenomenal. The way he turns on a ball, it's just something. It's absolutely something else. So I think maybe somebody comes into where Koleosho is,
Yeah.
Then unless Dara O'Shea leaves before Saturday, then obviously there could be a chance for someone to step up to the plate at centre back. I think it's still very early. I don't think there'll be that many changes, to be fair. I don't think there'll be that many. I mean, how is it looking for you?
I think for me, I think it's a good call with Collie Orshaw. I could probably see Zahori starting, which that in itself will get fans buzzing. If it were Benson, there'd be a few wet pants.
Oh yeah, flip the lid off Turf Moor.
Yeah. But you know, I think Collie Orshaw's probably a good shout. That just, you know, for me probably because, well, it's a tough one because you could play him for 60 minutes. I've run the defence absolutely ragged, then obviously switch it up like he did yesterday, or you have someone else doing that job and then put him on and then absolutely destroy defences. But yeah, concerned that this rumour of O'Shea's not going away. But that rumour has been going on for quite some time, and he still played him yesterday. So, and like you say, the tweets that he's putting out on Insta and all that, like it's all about he's still, you know, fully wearing Claret and blue. So yeah, I can't see personally many changes. Yeah, I think it just depends if we do lose, obviously, a player. But maybe best one just because like he has been out for so long. But when's what's his face coming back? Bayer. Do we know?
No, again, he's another one. It's a bit of a tough call. He's had complications with his injury, but I believe the reason why he took his old number back from when he joined was to do with luck. He didn't enjoy being number 5 last year, or number 4, whichever it were. But he's not far off. But then we've got to hope that he's still going to be the same player that he was in the Championship the first time. He was absolutely unplayable.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Going back to what Max says in the chat, though, regarding Saturday's game, he says, if we continue in the fashion from last night, then the main job is guarding against complacency and remembering there is no easy game in the Championship. You have to work for everything. The transfer window needs to close 1st of August because it's ridiculous that clubs could lose players once the season has started, but that debate just rumbles on. Yeah, I think if you start the season, if you start a transfer window, say as soon as your season ends, a week after the season ends, window opens and then it shuts at the end of July. So that the first of August, that's your squad.
Yeah,
that's your squad going into the season. And then obviously the January window is another obviously topic where people top the sides up with what's what. But yeah, for that's not a bad call, Mac. Not a bad call at all. I've just been told by a mate as well. He's just messaged me saying, just got round to watching the documentary. Not even 10 minutes gone, and seen you on the box. I've had to stop and have a woohoo over how many times you've been on screen. So clearly a lot of love, a lot of man love. He said the missus started, but that's out of order. It's all fun times. All fun times. So yeah, you're saying 2-0 minimum.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I need to go after that result the other day. Do we absolutely dick Cardiff? I mean, Cardiff was our last home. If I remember, Championship season, Cardiff was our last home game of the season because we actually showed the trophy.
Yes.
We actually lifted the trophy at the end of that. We had the trophy ceremony on the turf. We beat them 3-0.
Yeah.
So you know what?
We didn't even get out to second gear then.
No, I want another 4. I'm a greedy bastard. I mean, Belly said same as well, but I am a greedy bastard, and yeah, I'm gonna go 4-0. I'm gonna go Trafford to get a clean sheet as well. So
yeah, I'd absolutely be over the moon if Foster bags 1, but if he got an hat trick,
get all 4 for all I care. Go for it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. One thing I'll say, 3-0, 3-1.
Not bad.
I'd take 1-0, to be fair, as long as we get 3 points on our arse. But we're scoring from all angles again, and that's what does fill me full of confidence. There's goals throughout. We're not just relying on one player like Foster. There's players. I mean, Vitinho, I wouldn't have sit it down as I mean, he bagged a few last time at Championship, but he took that goal very, very well.
Yeah, he did. He did take it. He took it to a plumb. I mean, again, I go back to Kaminsky being an ex-bastard, and it's always good to see him put on his arse, in back at net, crying, whinging. You know, it's water off a duck's back now. We've done him twice. He can have his little thingy moment, but you know, karma, reap what you sow, you big shithouse. You know what? It'd be nice to see Vegos probably come on and bag as well. I know people are going to be like boo and slate me or whatever, but if he is willing to be here and die for the shirt and play, we've got to back him. We've got to back him. Fans, if he scores the winner against Bastards, he goes from 0 to hero.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I think it's just the whole mannerism of how the Dutch are. They do come across as very self-assured, very arrogant at times, and Weghorst does extremely comes across like that. But I weren't expecting to see him ever again in a Burnley shirt, and yet he came on as a sub. In the Championship, so whether that's just doing a bit of window shopping, but yeah, that'd be. I don't know. He's there. He's still there. So if he's still there and he's willing to put in a shift in, then just get behind him. Like we've got to get behind every other player.
Yeah, 100%. Ashy, it's again been a blessing and a disguise chatting. But I'm looking forward to a pint together on Saturday as well. That should be good.
Yes.
But tell people where they can obviously check you out and give you some internet loving.
Just usually on Twitter or X, as if people want to call it. But yeah, AMA Claret. They're quite happy to talk any football really, but mainly Claret and Blue. This Claret and Blue. Oh, what is it? Ocean.
Well, purple portion and something else, weren't it?
Yeah, it's Claret and Blue.
Of course it is. Of course it is. I don't know why Castore have to get all posh.
Yeah.
I don't know why they have to go all posh. It's going to bug me now. It was purple portion and something. I'm going to find it now. Because somebody posted it recently.
Oh, I think it was Francesca.
Let's have a look.
He has to say, I'm going to wear my purple portion and teal.
Tropical breeze. Yeah, purple portion and tropical breeze.
That's the one. That kind of has a ring to it. Not.
It does. Not. No, thank you very much for watching. I understand that I know people said in the chat earlier that it's coincided with Turfcast and stuff, but the best thing about YouTube and Facebook, if you're following either of us, following us on either, you can watch this back whenever you feel like it.
Yeah.
So that's the best thing about it. And obviously, we're not always going to have separate times to do it. We're not Corrie, Emmerdale, and EastEnders where we all have our own little segments. you know, we all have to work around our work life, family life, and get it in where we can. But it is Cardiff City this weekend who make the trip to Turf Moor, and let's just keep those good times rolling. Positive vibes only, and it's the only way is up.
Let's get an atmosphere.
Definitely,
let's get that atmosphere back.
Definitely, I played that. Can you remember that game Atmosphere when you were when you were younger? The one where you like put a video in and you had to like play around. You played it around like a board, but you had to watch a video of this guy that had like a cloth on. And
Yeah.
it was a strange that I played it, and my mum allowed me to. I think I were only I think I were only young, but my mum allowed me to, and it said something like, "Get close to the screen, come close to the screen." I'm like, right, face pressed up against it, and it's like, "Too close, maggot!" And I was like, "Whoa!" And I just ran off crying. Just remember running off crying. But fun times. Can I just say, I've just seen online, apparently 3 people have been stabbed at Bury Market.
God's sake.
Which obviously I know it's got nothing probably to do with football, but again, it's on the doorstep. It's very, very close, and I don't condone any of that sort of crap. I just think there's too much going on in the world, so I just hope for the best. And Ashy's dog's going nuts.
Yeah. I just well, I've got 2 now. One of them's just come back from walk, sort of zoomies is on. I just literally ripped out me charger.
Oh, perfect time for us to end it then, isn't it? Max says, "Up the bloody Clarets. Cheers, gents." And people need to sort their priorities out if they are over at the other channel. You know what? Joe's a nice guy, but yeah, I agree, Mac. I agree. Mr. B, thank you very much indeed. Really do appreciate it. And like I say, you can watch this back at your perusal. Please do, if you can, drop us a like, share this all over your social media, and subscribe to the channel. You can join us. It's only 99p a month. It really helps us grow and gets us out there to more people. But yes, Cardiff this weekend. Let's hope for the best. Let's hope that we get those 3 points, 6 points, top of the league, and let's just, stop the count, as they kept saying.
Let's keep it going.
Let's keep it going. Up the Clarets, boys. Up the Clarets.